For you. We actually have 6 different people here to talk, one of which is coming in by video, but 6 different stories related to the Da Vinci Innovation Celebration. So the Da Vinci Innovation Celebration is, if you haven't heard this before, it's an idea pitch, right? There's no business plan involved. It's the idea and the presentation that matters. And we have 6 different categories for the Da Vinci. So we tried to make something for everybody. If you're an art student, you can do any category no matter who you are, but if you're an art student, you may be more comfortable with the artistic appeal. If you're a business student, you may be more interested in the commercial potential, and that's where you actually do need to have a little bit of an understanding of what kind of money you could potentially make for this. And then civic engagement, we'll talk about. Clever concept is more like the pet rock. No one believed the pet rock was going to make money, and everybody ended up buying one, right? So it may not sound like a normal idea, but it's a great place to live. And then social enterprise, targeted market, we're going to talk about all of those tonight, and we're going to illustrate each category with a real live business in the community that is being successful in using those categories. And we're actually going to launch into it pretty quickly because we have a lot of grounds to cover. But we'll take a second and let you get a drink of water. So the first category, we're going to do this in alphabetical order because I just couldn't think of a better way to do it. Not very creative of me. But the first category that we're going to talk about is the artistic appeal. Now, this is, if it's got this intrinsic beauty to the product, right? So just quick question to the audience. What's a beautiful product that you've run across in your life? And I've struggled with this one. I came up with Bellamy, which is they make handcrafted soaps, and they're beautiful. Some people think of the iPhone as a beautiful device. Obviously, if you're an artist and you're selling your art, that might be one, but who else? Watches. Oh, absolutely. Watches can be absolutely beautiful. Any others? Nice shirt, by the way. All right. So, yeah, that one's a hard one, in my opinion. But in many fields, beauty sells. So is this a highly visually appealing product? Our winner last year for this was, she did a vending machine that was designed like a wave, and all the products inside of it were beautifully designed. It was a really cool idea, and it looked really good. But tonight, we are going to have Brianna Snellgrove from Social Icon talk about her company from the perspective of artistic appeal. And I'll help you with your videos. Brianna?
Hi, everyone. I'm Bree Snellgrove, and I started Social Icon about 5 years ago. We do digital marketing and event planning. And when Jim asked me to do this presentation, I thought of 2 things. I was not an art major. I graduated with a marketing degree, so I don't really know a whole lot about Leonardo da Vinci. And 2, why was I asked to do artistic appeal? I'm not a graphic designer. I don't do painting. Art is not necessarily my primary skill. So I'm doing the best I can on this, so you guys follow through here. So I did what I normally do when I'm asked to do a project. I dove head first this morning into everything Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo da Vinci, I found he and I are pretty similar in a lot of ways. Leonardo da Vinci is known mostly for paintings. He was also a scientist, an engineer, and something that he also was ADHD. He had a stroke of genius, and he was able to invent some of the most forward-moving projects and inventions before they were known. So, for example, Leonardo da Vinci was obsessive. And I'm going somewhere with artistic here, but what he did is that, for example, he was interested in the study of flight. So if you are ADHD and you are interested in something, you become obsessive. So when he looked at the study of flight, he looked at the way birds moved, how they flew, and he thought to himself, if birds can fly, then humans can fly too. So he ended up creating the first design of a parachute. And I wanted to show you this quote. It says, "First, I shall do some experiments before I proceed farther, because my intention is to cite experience first and then, with reasoning, show why such experience is bound to operate in such a way. And so I found that Leonardo da Vinci and I are very similar in the fact that we spend a lot of time researching and trying to understand everything about a project that we're working on. So outside of art, he invented weapons for military bases. He was really involved in anything that he was asked to do. So like most of you, I was at the end of my college career, and I had gotten a nonprofit job, and I learned a lot in that first job, including how to handle politics. And I have a very strong personality, and I learned a lot of things, but I found myself looking for a new job, and it landed me here. Does anyone know what Hopjacks is? Have you been there? Okay. There, here's Michael, yeah. So Hopjacks, they used to have a location off of 9 Mile. I bartended there for some time to make extra money between jobs, and I learned a lot here. But I found myself with a couple other friends creating, we joked, we said, okay, beards and mustaches are trending right now. And we decided that we were gonna start a club, which seems a little ideal because I don't have any facial hair that you can see here. But this is one of my brothers here. This is John, and we decided to start this club. And where I'm going with this is we started because it was fun. We like to drink whiskey and smoke cigars. This is our logo here. We wanted to tell people and show people through our artistic appeal with our logo that men with beards and mustaches aren't just your typical hipsters that are dirty, don't shower, and are lazy. They also are very skilled, and most men that have long beards actually spend more time on their face than most women to get their hair done, right? So it was essentially a trending, fun club and social. But as this went on, we held events, and this gentleman right here, this is Joshua, we started to do things for Movember. And after our first year with Movember, Josh actually got testicular cancer. He was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And we spent a lot of time raising money for all his medical expenses, and so we dove into research for that. And it changed from a social club to a philanthropy. So we sold shirts, we had fundraisers, and we ended up doing a lot of things in town. Then I was scouted by someone at a print magazine called Splash, and I became their sales representative, which this is really wonderful. However, I found myself after about 6 months to a year there that I was selling advertising at a price of anywhere from $500 to $1,500 per ad, and the return on investment was very low. And this really bothered me deeply. In marketing, you want to provide a client with the best return on investment. So after spending time there and learning more about arts and graphics there and what appealed to the market, I actually did a couple of campaigns through social. And this is when social was really starting to get really big. They were starting to do ads. Facebook was obviously moving out of just the university side of it. One of the campaigns we did was, Who Said Blue Angels Can't Fly? I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Blue Angels have flown every single year in its existence except for one. And the year that they did not, we ran a campaign where the Blue Angel was on the back of the cover, and we asked people to cut them out and fly them around town. And we said, who said Blue Angels can't fly? And I found that through this social campaign that we were getting a lot of engagement. And I was like, man, there's really something to this. So then there was something called Startup Weekend that was coming up. And Startup Weekend, you create a business in 48 hours. So I went to this, and there was a lot of other people. You sit with a couple other folks. You create a business in 48 hours, and you pitch it to investors. I loved it. I was on fire for it. Like Leonardo da Vinci, I was obsessed, right? This was our very first video. Those numbers are drastically different now, by the way. this is my first logo. See any similarities to the other things going on in my life? So that was our very first logo here. So everything was kind of merging into one focal point with this logo. Now, this is really cute. When I first started business, and it's very catchy and it was trending, then it revised to this, which was also really fun. I picked up lots of clients. But still, at this day and age, social was not something that was a way to make a living 5 or 6 years ago. People still weren't really sure. We can still do that for free. I'm not sure what monthly retainers are. And so I still worked a part-time job with a commercial developer where I learned so much. And so I had a epitome that I was going to rebrand my business. I had a child and a husband, and I tried to dig deep. What is something that means something to me? Which, of course, is my family. My husband and I play a lot of chess, and so that's where I started, and we tied in the marketing well played. So I decided that I was going to rebrand my business in January of 2018, spent a lot of time marketing it. We had a fabulous rebrand party, and I found out 2 weeks before I did that, I was pregnant with my second child. No big deal. But I spent a lot of time on a branding video, which really explains what our company does now. My husband and I, we love playing chess. Chess is one of our favorite things to do. It's a good strategy game. And so I always knew that adding a chess piece as a symbol was something I wanted to start with. And then I took that logo and I sent it to a colleague of mine, Calvin. He said, "Man, that's really well played."
It's funny, before Social Icon, for weeks, I've been telling myself, oh my goodness, I wish I had more time to really focus on my infrastructure, because I knew that was the bottleneck that was holding me back from scaling. So working with Social Icon, within the first week, they literally streamlined our entire process.
Social Icon was born on Startup Weekend of 2014. It was a business that was built overnight to specifically serve clients with social media management.
The process of watching Bree go from that first Startup Weekend all the way through now a seasoned business professional has been, it's been a joy for me, because she was really coming into her own and owning her skill set, her talents, the things that she brought to the table and that her company was going to bring to the table to the broader business community in Pensacola.
And then it turned to something bigger. It grew as time went on, and I started to discover some of the things that businesses needed. And so I started to fill in those gaps by making referrals, qualified referrals, which were people that I worked with, people that I knew.
Probably about 20% of our revenue comes from business that Social Icon has referred. I didn't see it when she first put us in one of the clients that we clean now, but a light bulb went off, like, okay, now I see why I'm in this space. I've met a lot of people in this space, and that's led to more business, and people know about me.
It wasn't just a connection, it was more of a business relationship that I know would be great for both parties' growth.
That is the type of referrals that Social Icon sends us, which helps my business to grow, and it'll help any other business to grow as well. That's why I highly recommend them.
We can take businesses to totally new places in their revenue, in the size of their company, and the future of what that business looks like.
I can see that when I do a social media post with Bree's guidance, there's an immediate bump in sales. I've been working with Bree now for about 4 years. Bree held a course several years ago that my family and I attended to learn about the business aspect of social media. Again, this is a new world for me, and Bree has been very patient as she's explained it, and I can go to her on any social media subject and she has an answer.
She was able to look at a company and assess where they are today and where they could potentially go, and really been able to bring that marketing and management and process improvement to the table for her clients. And I think that has been invaluable.
I quickly realized that she had a skill set that not many people possessed. All these different processes that she can create for my client base means that not only can they expand their business, it means that they can retire someday.
Every time that I make a connection with someone, it's not just about
their business card and what they do and what keeps them busy during the day. For me, it's who is your family? Where are you from? How can I help you grow? And so that sort of relationship has really harvested this connection on such a deeper level.
So it's more of a sense of this person actually cares about my life as well, my family, what I'm doing. It actually feels like I've made a friend.
So over the course of time, I've built this incredible network of people, and we're really changing the landscape of entrepreneurship. It's become a network of really qualified people, whether it be client or provider.
So I see Social Icon as an integral part of the entrepreneurial landscape in Pensacola. You've got Bree as a quintessential entrepreneur who's taking something that she loves, something that she's passionate about, something that she is uniquely skilled at, and bringing value to other business leaders in this community.
The value we've seen from Social Icon has been so important that we want to stay partners with them forever.
Having built this incredible network over the course of my professional career, I'm so proud to say that I can establish that connection, not just a connection, but a working relationship between a client in need and a quality provider. And it's profitable. It is profitable for both parties on a quantitative scale. And to me, that's marketing well played.
So Jim, I know this wasn't, if you're a graphic designer or an artist, I hope that it wasn't disappointing. But what I want to say that I think my artistic appeal is authenticity. So anything that you're doing, whether you're branding, you're working for a company, and you put your heart and soul into it, use your artistic appeal of being authentic. And so the last revision we did was recently, a few months ago. We've moved into event management. We've been able to sponsor events, and so we really cleaned it up and made it look like a corporate logo, but all the authenticity still remains. There's still a huge story behind it, and like Da Vinci, we do several different things. We do event management, we do digital management, we do website development. We own a toolbox of skills, and I appreciate you guys for having me today.
Thank you, Bree. So we're going to move the screen over a little bit so that we had originally planned to have two. But if you go on to Bree's social media or go on to her website or go to one of her events or look at her marketing pieces, she's providing real value through the service that she offers, but she does it beautifully, right? There's inherent artistic skill through everything she does. And so as you're thinking of your ideas, if you want to go into the artistic appeal category, the lesson from this is that it can be anything, but is presented beautifully, just like Social Icon. So thank you.